one morning we got up and they took us to work, and it was kind of noisy. Everything was kind of rushing in town because they didn't let us that evening go home, and then they let us, and they made sure that we all back. And next morning we went to work, and when we went to work there, all of a sudden they says we're gonna took 2 barracks away from that army in the site. It was no army, that I was civilian actually from that company, and they put around barbed wire in those 2 barracks, and that's, we didn't know that for when in the beginning, because when we were standing and working, all of a sudden we heard that shooting and crying over the horizon from the road from downtown going to these railroad stations. Well, we figured it out right away what's happening. For they call it in that time, in this was supposed to be Judenrein. That means Jewish clear from that town. And that night before was the last time I saw my parents and my sisters. But we heard that all that crying and the screaming and the shooting, and we know what it is. We couldn't see it because there was the field was away about a mile or so from that road, so we couldn't see it, everything. But we heard it, and we know exactly what it is. Later on, when the Polacks came into work, they told us what happened. That's all the way down from the downtown to the railroad. The corpses, kids, and all the people what they couldn't walk, they just should right, and we know so many things laying on the way to the railroad, and that was the end of it. And that same day, it comes after work, it came down 2 guards, or 3 guards was it, and they took us back to the synagogue to pick up all those things, those clothes what we had, and everything, in the blankets from there, and to march back, and we're going to stay in that place now and sleep there too, not going back to the synagogue anymore. And the synagogue was another camp there, but those people who worked in town stayed there, which we didn't know it's going to be another camp, but and it was under the same rule. But all those people who worked in that place, we always had to stay in those 2 barracks.